All right, what's going on, everybody? So we're here talking about UFC once again because they just announced a fight that I'm very excited about, and has Carlos Prates versus Ian Machado Garry. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be breaking down this matchup and why I think this could be a very sick matchup, and possibly why the matchup could be ruined. But real quick, before I get into the video, 93% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you like UFC, influencer boxing, or boxing content, I post 3 to 4 times a week on this channel at least, so make sure you subscribe. Also, at 200 subs, I'll be doing my first watch party. Whatever event that falls under, it should be fun. Let me know if you'll pop out. Much appreciated. So honestly, the first thing that I thought of when I saw this matchup was respect to Ian Garry. I'm not the biggest fan of Ian Garry whatsoever, especially how he fights when he's losing. We'll talk about that later, promise me. I promise you. But the fact that he took this short notice fight against a very legitimate opponent, coming off a loss, this could be like a huge make or break situation for Ian Garry. He could fall out of being a top contender in this division very fast, or he could be right back in it after this fight. Now, this is why I think this is a very interesting matchup, especially for the side of Ian Garry, because we have seen throughout Ian Garry's career that he's very well balanced. He has very good striking. That's probably the best that he's had, but there's been fights like the Michael Venom Page fight where he had no answers on the feet. And, dude, that fight got me very angry, especially at the time, because I was very excited about that fight. I thought it was going to be a badass striking matchup, and MVP was just destroying Ian Garry on the feet, and then he got to the forbidding stalling technique. Ian Garry, I still don't fully forgive him for that performance. I don't give a fuck. He had no answers for striking, so Ian Garry doesn't have elite striking. Even though he has very good hand speed, he has good straight punches, not as good as Prates, but good straight punches. He has nice low kicks. He says that he has the best low kicks in UFC next to Pereira. That's a bit of a force, but it's still a good leg kick for sure. And Carlos Prates is a bit prone for the leg kicks I've seen in his fight, so that would be interesting. But here's the thing about Ian Garry. He's already been dropped badly in his career in the Song Kanan fight, and fair enough to him. He came back and proved that he was tough in that fight and won by TKO. It was actually a very good performance in general, but it still showed that it's not impossible to hurt him, and very bad person to be against if you're going to go into a striking matchup. Being dropped by Song Kanan, then go into a Carlos Prates fight, you're going to probably stay away from the feet similar to the MVP fight. I'm not going to lie, because Carlos Prates has that Anderson Silva type smoothness to his MMA style. He has brutal straight punches with extreme power. He has nasty knees to the body and nasty kicks, all of that, all the above. So in a striking matchup, I would not feel good about Ian Garry. And this is why I go back to this fight might be disappointing, because we've seen how Ian Garry behaves in the Michael Venom Page fight. If he doesn't feel like he can strike with Prates, he will stall. He has proven that he will stall against the cage and take somebody's back and backpack for 2 rounds straight. He will do that. So that gets me a bit worried, because Prates hasn't been tested in the grappling aspect. So I hope he doesn't let Ian Garry do that, because if Ian Garry ruins another fight that I'm excited about, I'm going to hate him. I'm going to straight up hate that cuck. Oh, not going to go there. I'm not going to go there, but allegedly a cuck. That's all I'm saying. But I guess there will be a difference, because as we know, MVP, by the time we go to swing at him, he's already 5 feet away. So at least Prates will be there to hit for Ian Garry. It will be a little bit different. But still, I would not bet on Ian Garry doing very well on the feet. His striking defense is very suspect, and I don't think there is a lot more prospects to face for that to be a bad idea. So, unfortunately, I believe that Ian Garry is going to ruin this matchup like he did with the MVP fight. I'm not going to lie to you. There is a real world where Ian Garry works his leg kick early, oversteps a bit, and gets caught with a straight right hand or straight left hand, Prates is southpaw, and he gets hurt badly. It is a very good chance. But I don't think it's impossible that Ian Garry could hurt Prates. I will say that. He does have power, and he is a good striker. He's just not an elite striker, and I feel like Prates is. So I feel like that'll be the main difference. Ian Garry isn't elite at anything, but he is good at everything. So we'll see if he improves. Maybe one of his many things that he's good at will end up being elite, and then that's when he's a real contender and maybe a champion. At Ian Garry's best, he's entertaining. It's just, again, after that Michael Venom Page fight, I don't want to see that shit ever again, and I just feel like he's going to do it in this case, because I think he's going to get hurt early. I just seen if Song Kanon can hurt you. I'm not saying that Song Kanon is dog shit, but you're supposed to be UFC the future Ian Machado Garry. It's a real thing that you just need to at least keep your eye on. So I definitely think that this will end up being a grappling matchup by round 2, unfortunately. But maybe Prates has good grappling and can at least make it entertaining and add some transitions. It could be a bit back and forth, make Ian Garry work, because Ian Garry wasn't even trying to work in the MVP fight. He legit just backpacked MVP. I don't want to see that again. No matter how much I talk shit about Ian Garry, I respect him taking this fight, because after taking a loss off Shavkat, which he actually did pretty well in that fight, a lot better in the grappling aspect than everybody thought. I thought he was gonna get bodied in the grappling, and he didn't. So he has good takedown defense, but Prates isn't gonna go for that. So that's the one thing. Hey man, this is gonna be one of this is probably Carlos Prates' hardest test in general. And you can maybe even argue, besides Shavkat and Michael Venom Page, that this might be the hardest test for Ian Garry. Depends on how you rank Jeff Neal and Neil Magny. Those were very good wins by Ian Garry. But I'm very excited for this replacement. This is probably one of the best replacements they could have possibly made for the pullout. So I'm excited for this fight. Do not ruin it, Ian Garry. Do not. You can win me over. If you go out there and knock out Carlos Prates, and then all of a sudden, holy shit, Ian Garry is legit, I will stop talking. But if you go in there and cannot strike with Prates whatsoever and take his back and hold him there for 2 rounds, shit's going to be talked. I know that my opinion isn't, like, going to make or break his career, but I'm not the only one that was pissed off by that performance. So, Ian Garry, if you're the future, show it. And Carlos Prates, if you're the future, show it. This is a fight that you would expect to see down the line, where both of them get more wins, and this is like both in the top 5 type matchup, but we're getting it now. So, hey, no complaints there. I hope it's a good fight. It'll be very interesting. We can finally see if all this smoking and drinking really will do anything for Carlos Prates, because, yeah, the edits of I Hate Being Sober to his fight knockouts are very sick. Probably some of my favorite edits I've seen, but it gets me a little nervous if Ian Garry is on his back in round 4, how he's going to be in round 5, because I don't know. Actually, you know what will piss me off more? If the first 2 rounds Prates is winning, like, on the feet, Ian Garry takes his back and tires him out in rounds 3 and 4, stalling, and then in round 5 he knocks out Carlos Prates. I'll probably be more mad. Yes, there's a knockout, but no, please don't have that be how it goes. Please, no. Oh, dude. Maybe Ian Garry takes down Prates and gets a submission and, like, goes for a finish. And then I would stop talking there, too, because, like I said, there's a difference between stalling and looking for a finish. If he goes for a finish against Prates, cool. Okay, so those are my takes for this matchup. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree down in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys think that Ian Garry's going to channel his inner Bilal Muhammad in this fight. I think so, but I hope not. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications if you want any more posts. If you want to watch some of my other videos, I got them linked in the description down below. Also, if you want to follow any of my socials, they're down there too. Thank you guys for listening to me yap like usual. God bless every single one of you. And peace out.